Good afternoon and welcome to the ByME Digital Resources, to the webinar Digital Resources for Secondary. Today's webinar will be a very practical session focused on giving support to the users of ByME Secondary. Our speaker today is Joseph Parkin, ByME Educational Consultant and Teacher Trainer. Joseph worked several years as a school teacher in a bilingual school in Madrid, and now he works as an educational consultant. This session will be divided into two parts. The first 45 minutes, we will focus on digital platform walkthrough where Joseph will explain and show its main features. And then after that, we will dedicate 15 minutes to answering questions. Thanks again for coming. And without any further ado, here is Joseph.
Okay, thank you very much, Bernardo. First of all, thanks everyone for coming along, especially as you must be incredibly busy, what with the start of your unusual year. So I hope you're all doing okay and well done for taking the time out. I wanted to let you know, first of all, there is a chat here. There's not a huge amount of us here, so therefore make the most of it. If you have questions, you can write your questions in there and we'll get to them later on. And right off the bat, I wanted to, oh dear, my poll's gone. I was going to ask you if you have already used the platform before. Oh, look. What is this? So if you could answer on your screen here if you've used it in the past, that would be very useful. Okay, 75% yes, 40% no. Okay, so we've got some. Okay, so there we are, exactly 50-50. So, or slightly more people say yes than no. Okay, it's just good to know, because also obviously this is all new for this year, but still it's interesting to get an idea of who we're talking to today. Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to start. We're going to go really little by little here. I'm going to share my screen with you. Like this, and we're going to go through all the different parts of the platform. So once again, at any stage, if there's a question, if there's something you're not quite sure about, you can throw it in the chat, and then we'll go over it a bit later. So first of all, we're going to just have a look at how to register. So you've got different. Oh, I've lost my mouse. Here we are. So we're going to click on register here. We're going to say obviously that we are teachers because we are. I'm going to say next. Here I'm going to my own. I'm going to add my email address. Oops, excuse me. We're going to add our password. Agree to the terms and conditions and click on next. The username is already in use. I'm going to make myself Joseph Parking, which is something which never usually happens. Oh dear. Oh dear, I didn't think I had an account with this. I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to try this one. Here we are. Okay, so next you can add your school. You can do this later, of course. So I'm just going to simply type in a postcode for Madrid, and we're going to be Nuestra Señora del Pilar in this case. And then if you have a book code, have one of your codes to hand, then you can add it here, or otherwise you can do it later on. I'm just going to click on next. You can also create a class now, but I'm going to show you how to do that a bit later on as well. Okay, so now we've got our account made. You can add your book there. You would add your code. But what I'm going to do is exit and show you the other option, okay, which would be to log in with Google. So to log in with Google, we'll do this. And then it will give you the option. In this case, I'm going to go with, well, it said that there's an already account with this one, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with this one. And this way, what it will do, it will already get your name, it will get some of your information from your Google account. So in this case, I'm going to say that I am over 15, and that I agree with the terms and conditions, and we're in just the same way. Okay, so I'm going to exit here and go into an account where I've already added some books, etc. Here we go. So this is our main screen once we're in the platform. And the first thing I'd like to go over is this menu up the top. So you've got my books, my classes, my tracked records, offline option, and my profile. So first of all, we're going to go to my classes. You can see here we've already got two demo classes set up, but we're going to create a new one. It couldn't be much easier, to be honest. So you click on Add Class. We're going to call this ByME Rocks. I'm going to create the class, and here it is. So we've got here this code. This code is the code that you would share with your students in order for them to be part of your group. Okay. Obviously, here you have more options. You can edit the name, and you can also delete it, which I'm going to do. Okay. So right here in my tracked records, we've got the records that you can see of what your students, the activities that your students have been doing. We're actually going to have a look at that a bit later on, once you can see how the students' book works, etc., and where the activities are for your students. We'll come back and have a look. Right. So let's move on to the offline option. So you've got different options here. You've got Windows, Mac, or Linux, and you can also download this on various different app stores. So you've got the Apple Store, there's an iOS version, there's an Android version, and there's a version for Chromebooks. You select the platform you wish, unzip the files, run the installer, and then you won't need your internet connection, except for obviously things such as synchronization and the likes. That would need a connection to do that, of course. So moving across, we've got the My Profile button. The My Profile button has different subsections on the left. Here you can change your name, email address, telephone number, etc. You can change the school. And here in access codes, this is where you'll see all the codes for the books you have at the moment. If any of them have expired, I don't think any of these are, this is our demo account, they would be gray rather than black. So it's good to go in here to check that your licenses are working correctly. It will tell you over here on the right when the expiration date is, etc. Okay, and over here, your Google account. If you set up an account from the beginning by signing in with your email address and password, etc., then you can go in here and link it to Google later on. Okay, right. So we're going to go back to one other thing that I was going to mention down here: technical support. We all need a bit of help sometimes. So if you go on here, if you have any issues with the platform, we'd very much appreciate it if you could send us a message to let us know what's going on. So A, we can help you, and B, we can make sure that it doesn't happen for anybody else. So one thing which would be very, very useful would be if you could do a screenshot of the issue when it happens, and then send it as a file. Down here at the bottom, it says agregue un archivo. So you can go in here and upload a file with that, and that will help us to identify your problem better. I know this looks very long, this form, but it's not all obligatory. I thought I'd mention only the ones with red asterisks. Okay, so going into my books. Yeah, we're going to be using geography and history for the first year of ESO. I'm going to scroll down to that. So I'm going to use this, the teacher version. Here there's a student version, there's a teacher version. There are some slight differences with in terms of the options that are available. Okay, so we've got 5 sections. We've got the student's book, there's the learning kit, my community, this is only for geography and history, obviously, because it wouldn't be relevant for biology, for example. And then we have the teacher's kit. This is where we have all the things for you guys. So going to the student's book, I'm going to have a look at the navigation menu first of all. So up here, top left, you got this, what's known as a hamburger menu. So if you click on that, that brings up the menu. Right. It's important to note that you don't get all of the information, but when you click on one part of it, oops. So it will, sorry, yeah. Sorry, this is where I wanted to do. You see the unit openers here. It was already open from the last time I was in because it remembered me. So when you click on those, then it will show you the individual subsections of the unit. Okay, so we can go through here and click along. You see it will scroll to the part we want. There's also a search menu. Excuse me. So if we go up here, we can search for say the geosphere, for example, and that will look up everywhere we have geosphere. And of course we have the home button, so we can go back to here. Now most of the text in here have audio. However, I can't show you the audio because with the system we're using right now, it's not going to come through. I don't think.
A planet in the solar system.
It said with the Earth, a planet in the solar system. Okay, so if you click on an underlined word, down here, for example, we've got celestial. So if we click on celestial, what it's going to do is going to bring up a definition bubble. Okay, so down here on the left, you got it. It's an adjective of the sky or relating to outer space. Right, now if you find images, well, this is a different type. When you find images, you will have the option to click on it to bring it up to full screen, to zoom in, and then you click on it again to make it smaller. Right, now in any text, something which is very useful is if you double click, then you can highlight it. Now you can choose what color you want it to be highlighted. So now it's a very attractive green, or the titles as well you can do. I'm going to highlight that Earth is definitely a planet. So, and you can also, oh, excuse me. You can also add a note. So down here on the right, you can add a note. You can say, Earth is our beloved planet. And here you actually have the option to add media from Drive. Okay, so if you click on it, well, you'd have to accept terms and conditions, etc. And then you can link your Google account, And then from your drive, then you can put images or documents, etc. in there. Or you can search YouTube for a video that's relevant, which would be great, to give your students a bit more of extra multimedia. And then you can click Save here. Okay, right. Then we've got this type of image here is interactive, so you can click on. Oh, hello. Excuse me. These things can happen. I'm going to refresh. So these ones which have the plus sign, when you go to the pluses, then it gives you more information or labels, allows a bit more interaction, and even will bring you some additional listening, for example, like this.
Hydrosphere.
Just another way to get content in context. As you can see here, the highlighting I did earlier is saved. Right. Next thing here, which is this is new. So we've seen this, even the pre-existing users. If we click on this Google down here, I'll make it a bit bigger so you can see. You have a Google Classroom link. So if you're using Google Classroom, you can very easily get your content from ByME into your classes. For example, here I can use this demo ByME Geography and History class. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a task. And as I've already linked this with an account, then I can write a short summary of the unit opener, for example. I can say between 50 and 100 words. I can assign points. I can say who I want to do it. I can say when I would like that to be done by. I want that done for yesterday. I don't know if that's even possible to do it. And I can say what subject it is, for example, and create that task. And that would already be in their class. So you can even, I'll show you where it is. Here we are. So Joseph Parkin has published a new task. Write a short summary of this. Okay. So let's come back out of that. So Google Classroom is a very simple tool to use and collaborate, together with this, and it does open a whole world of possibilities to adapt this to your own needs. Okay. So that's the basic functionality of our of the students' book. It's quite a modern look. You'll see that there are different activities. Now, these activities down here, these are not the interactive activities. The interactive activities we'll see later. They're actually in a different section. These are more classroom activities, things to do live with your students. And then we have unit revision questions. Again, they're more questions, and we've got some reading and reflection materials. Okay, so you've got a percentage complete here as well, which is good to keep kids interested. Right, now we're going to have a look at the learning kit. The learning kit is common for teachers and students, and this is where the students are going to be able to do these interactive activities. So now this is where the My Tracked Records comes into its own. So this is where the students are going to go in and, for example, go to this first one, and they would have to choose the 4 inner planets, etc. There are 15 activities per unit. So I would recommend for you to go in and play around with them. Give them a go before you ask your kids to go and do them, to get a feel of what kind of things you're asking them for. Right, then we've got the word cards. Now, these are not flashcards. They're more based on actual text. So, text with definitions. So each one here, so the solar system, you click on them, which flips it. So a planetary system to which Earth belongs, that includes the sun, 8 planets and other celestial bodies. There is audio.
A planetary
on both sides.
Solar system.
And you can get through them. You scroll through with the arrow down the bottom here, so atmosphere, hydrosphere, geosphere, etc. And you can play a game. So on when you open any set, you click on the play a game button up here, and you've got 4 options. So we'll go through each one, okay? So find the meaning. So we've got Earth's revolution, and then we've got three options here. So let's see, which one is it? Earth's revolution, the movement of Earth around the sun. There we are. Now randomly, they say it told me I was wrong. So let's go through the whole lot, just clicking randomly, because I'd like you to see what happens at the end. Then once you get to the end, then you can see that I genuinely was clicking randomly, because I got 50-50. And then this will give the kids a chance to try again if they like it. Okay, so that's the find the meaning. We've got choose the word. So it's basically the other way around. You have a definition and then you choose the word that goes with it. I'm not going to bore you with another random set of clicking. We have write the word, which is slightly more challenging because obviously the children have to actually write it themselves. So a planetary system to which Earth belongs that includes the sun, 8 planets and other celestial bodies. I think we should remember from before what the answer would be to that one. Okay. Now, surprise me is for when you just want it to come up at random. Okay, it will choose one of those previous 3 games for you randomly. This might be good for example, at the end of a class, you might want to play a quick game and you're not responsible for which game is chosen because it just comes out at random. Okay, so that's the word cards pre-made sets. Okay, sorry, just one moment. Now, if you click on create in the top right, what you'll find is that you can make your own. Okay, in fact, there's one I made down there. So let's say we're going to do life in Rome, for example, something about Rome. We need life in Rome, let's call it. So once you're in here, then you would write the term. Let's say aqueduct, which I hope I'm spelling properly. I'm probably not. Aqueduct, let's say a kind of bridge, a kind of long channel, often I'm sorry, this is a bit silly, isn't it? Bridges to carry water, right? So you do this. Now over here on the right, I can't do it because I'm using my microphone for you, but you can actually record the audio yourself. If you don't do that, then it will do a computer generated voice for you. Okay, and then you can add a card when you're here, do as many as you like, and then you click on, I don't know, laurel leaves worn on the head of emperors. Just to have 2 in there. Okay, we click on save. And then if we scroll down, then you'll see that we've created our own set. If we go in here, then we could even play a game. Okay, so surprise me, we go in aqueduct. Okay, so it's not just the pre-made things. You can build your own. A good way of reviewing vocabulary, or even having students challenge each other, I suppose. Okay. So that's your word cards. Now, Something else which is new for this version of the digital product is this mind map section. Now, other ByME products have included mind maps. In fact, mind maps have been kind of a fundamental part of ByME products for years. The difference with this is the fact that these are editable, and they can be, and you can create your own. So let's have a look first of all at the planets of the solar system mind map, which is already made. So we've got this is divided into inner planets and outer planets. Okay, so you can just you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can move that menu about to make it easier. I'm sorry, that's me doing it wrong with my fingers. So, and then you can drag the mind map around like this. Okay. Now, you can also create your own. So that's what we're going to do now. In fact, we're going to create one for the physical geography of Spain, for example. So we're going to click on Create, go to the physical geography of Spain. We're going to, which is where it's going to be, the unit it's going to be associated with. And we're going to say, let's say, Group 3 mind map, for example. Right, so in here, we have a blank canvas that we can build our own thing on. So if you double click anywhere on the screen, then it will bring up a box. So you click on the box and that will give you different options. So this one here gives you the option to make it different colors. So I'm going to make this one blue. You click on the second button and that will allow you to add text. So on this occasion, I'm going to say the Central Iberian Plateau is a large flat area in the center of the peninsula. It's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? The Central Iberian Plateau. You can obviously change. It's a large raised flat area. Anyway, so you can use it like a regular, standard text editing software. So you can put things in bold, etc. You can also add images. Oh dear, I don't even know what these images are. I'm going to add something which is not going to be offensive, but I'll add it. There we are. It's some people chatting. Doesn't make very much sense, but still. And you can delete this square if you like. So that's worked with the exception of the random image, which doesn't fit. Now, what we want to do is add more things to this, of course. So this is something that's not necessarily the most intuitive thing, first of all, but once you know how to do it, it's super easy. To add things to this, we will click and hold one of these dots. We'll drag a line out and release. Okay, let's do this again. Click on one of the dots, drag a line out and release. Now these can be moved around afterwards to wherever you like, but this is the way to get them to work. By the way, you can also drag the corners to make them, to change the shapes. Unfortunately, my random image is preventing that from working properly there. Okay, so you can assign a color to each one of them. Like you could be different categories, for example, or whatever. And then this will behave just the same as the other. You can zoom in, zoom out, and then you can change the background like this. That button here is reset. If you do that, you will reset it and everything will disappear. Okay, so just so you know, be careful with that button. And then we have the save button, which will bring us back here. Now, if we go to the physical geography of Spain, there is relief on the Iberian Peninsula, which is our pre-made one, and we have the Group 3 mind map. Now, if we click on Share With, then in this case, I'm going to share this with the first year Geography and History group, and that would also appear now on the students' on the students' accounts. Okay. Right, where are we going next? Okay, so that's our mind map, so we're going to get started with that. Right, next up, we've got multimedia. So multimedia is quite self-explanatory. This is basically a collated selection of media from around the web, which will help your students to understand these things better. I've just seen, I'm going to click on this one specifically because this is a channel. Oh, here we have an advert. This is a channel that I follow myself. It's okay to be smart. So I'm pretty sure you're not hearing the audio, but the audio. Okay, so it's a selection of videos that will help your kids to understand the concepts better. Okay. I'm going to, and you can also add a link here. So you can give it a name, etc. Again, quite intuitive to use. Okay, right. Next up, we've got the presentations. Right here. You can download them without download all of them in top right. So you can download it as an overview presentation, which I'll do right now. Here we are. It's an overview presentation of Unit 1. It's in PowerPoint format, so you could even have them modify it if you wanted. And you've got a general presentation here. Notice that this is also in Spanish, so this is good for the kids to be able to review the concepts in both languages. I'm personally in the school of thinking that both languages can live together in harmony, right? So, right, let's get back out of the learning kit. We're going to go down to my community first of all. So very, very simple. You can download all of this from this button to download it all at once, or you can download here. These are blank maps. That's the whole of Europe. Here's Spain, and here's Andalusia. So these would be for in-class activities. Okay, right. Now I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to go into the teacher's kit. Right. Once we're in here, we have another five sections for you to use. So the teacher's book is the same as the print copy, but it's PDFs split into units. So if you want to download just one unit, then you can do that. Or you can go to download all, and that would download the whole lot at once. Obviously, this is convenient. You can carry it around on your phone and anywhere. Portable digital format. Okay, over here, this is just basically another way to get into the multimedia section, or to add your own links. Bottom left, we've got worksheets. Now, worksheets and tests, actually. So you'll see here, let's have a look at some of them. So for Unit 1, we would have the following additional worksheets or pre-made tests. We've got the end of unit test. Let's have a look at it. Okay, with a variety of different questions. We're also going to have a look at the test generator. So don't think that these are your only option for your tests. You can make your own. Okay, the solutions are here. We have a reinforcement worksheet. Okay, and also the answers. Then we have extension. Okay. So it's got some kind of more thought-provoking, maybe for fast they'll often have things like kind of research questions, where they'll have to look into the answer. Okay, so you can download the whole lot here as well if you're wanting to save this on a pen drive or something and then take it with you from room to room, or you're not sure about your internet connection at school, then you can do that. Okie doke. So down here's a glossary. This is a vocabulary list, basically. So you've got the key vocabulary from the unit. And we've got the test generator. So we're going to have a look at that now. So this is where you can create your own tests. It's possible to do this by modifying the questions that are already in here. You could, like, for example, if you want to add or remove some questions, you can do that. Likewise, you can just create your own. Excuse me, I just need to change position slightly here. Got some light shiny in my eyes. So you can just completely make a new test. So let's have a look at doing a combination of these two things. I'm going to go with the physical geography of Spain. Again, it's going to be my go-to. I'm going to continue. And then you've got two options here. So these are the questions that have already been made. There's 10 questions in here. You can either, if you want to do a quick test, you can add 3, for example, or you can click on add all and then think, matching the landforms to the mountain ranges that they belong to, I think that's a bit too much. I'm going to remove that one. And choosing the correct answers, we don't want this. Obviously, sometimes if you have an image that doesn't, the question itself doesn't seem to make very much sense. If you want to see what it is, obviously we click on view. There we are. So here you see that the question is actually in an image, therefore it's not so easy. So we've got to correct those sentences. Right. I'm going to show you how to add questions. Click on view again, and that will go down. So that will be in the next section. So this is where you choose the ones that you want to use that have already been made. Then in the next section, you'll see it's called personalized test. This is where you can really get into the nuts and bolts of changing things. You can change the order by clicking on these 2 lines here. So I think I'm going to have this one further down here. I'm going to bring this one a bit further up. And then you can add a question from here. Now, this is really important because when you click on it, sometimes it feels like nothing's happened. The point is, what's happened is you've added a blank question to the bottom. So if you go to that and click on it, write the question. You click on write the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Click on view, and then you click down here on this thing. Let's do that again. Right. I'm gonna delete it and do the whole thing one more time because this is kind of important. Add question. View. Then we click on where it says write the question, and we're going to say, what is the tallest mountain I'm going to say, Picos de Europa called? Save. I honestly don't know the answer, so I don't know why I chose that. Actually, hang on. Anybody in the chat? No, I don't know. No, don't worry. No, I'm just being silly. I don't know. Tall mountain. Oh, sorry, in Spanish. Okay, so you can format your text here as well. Okay, then once you finish with that, then you click on hide and it's done. Okay, again, and then you could, I say this obviously is the best question of all of them, so I'm going to put that in first place. Once that's done, we click on continue. And then we have all sorts of options. So we've got the student version, just with questions. We've got the teacher version with answers and the questions and the answers. And then down the bottom, we've got, I'm going to do a teacher's version with both. And then we can do the following. We can go to print test. What this is going to do is give us a PDF any moment now. It's going to give us a PDF, which is downloading. I'm going to open that for you. There we are. What's the tallest mountain in Picos de Europa called? Solution, Montaña Alta, etc. Okay, so this has generated it with the answers for you as well. But this isn't editable. If you want to be able to edit it, you need to go down here to save for Word. Okay, then you accept this. Now, the difference here basically is that this is going to allow you. Sorry, it's open in the wrong place. Bring it over here. What's it going to do? It's going to allow you to add your school logo and modify this absolutely any way you want. Okay, there we go. And of course, down here we can give it a name. I'm going to call it Spanish Geography 1. That's too long, my name. And then I can save this as a draft, and then I can come back to it later. Okay, up here we've got a button where we can go to save tests, and we can see the test that we've got saved for later use, or for a different group. Okay, so that's the test generator. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop back over to my tracked records, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to go back to the front page. Now, if you have various different ByME products with different, then they'll all show up on here. Yours isn't going to look like this. Obviously, this is a demo account. So when you go in here, you're going to be able to see what your students have been doing on their interactive activities. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to show you, first of all, excuse me. First of all, I'm going to log out of this account, and I'm going to log back in as a student, and I'm going to go into the first year, this same book, and I'm going to do a couple of activities. And then you're going to be able to see how it shows up. So I'll show you where this student stands as it is. So it's this one here, this book I'm using. Now you'll see my whole extensive list of students. In this case, it's Alex Gomez. Right. So if I click here on Unit 1, I can see what Alex has been up to. Now you'll see that he's had 2 attempts at this activity. On the first one, he got 25% correct. On the second attempt, he got 50% correct. Now I can actually click on View for the first attempt, and I can see how he did. So you'll see he put Jupiter and Saturn as inner planets. But he's a good student, Alex. So he went and he tried again. This time he got a bit closer. We've still got a bit of work to do. So what I could do, I could say, okay, Alex has a bit of work to do. So I can say, come on, Alex. Getting better. Okay, I can send that to him. This is one way, if I'm not mistaken. So you can send messages to Alex, but the children are not going to be inundating you with messages. Now, this thing here where it says assigned, it says that this is basically that you want to assign this attempt as their grade. So you see here, we go to, when we do it and we scroll down to the bottom, it says assign selected evaluation. Now, in this case, we definitely want to give Alex that 50%. Right, let's go in as Alex and do a couple more exercises. I think we have enough time, do we not? Let me have a look. Oh, hang on. Okay, I'm going to log out of this account. I'm going to go in as Alex and very quickly do this because I see I am a little bit tight on time. Right, I just need to remember Alex's login details. Bear with me for just a moment. If you want to email Alex, you won't get a reply. Okay, so this is what your students would see. See, these are the classes that Alex is part of. In this case, we were in geography and history. Nearly went to the wrong one. So I'm going to go in here. You see, it's a different layout. So I'm going to go into interactive activities, and I'm going to try. I'm going to carry on with my go-to physical geography of Spain. This could be embarrassing. Right, let's go. So Spain is one of the countries in Europe, I'm going to say highest countries in Europe, with an average altitude of over 160 above sea level, which is about the same as Madrid. So Madrid's about the average. It's also one of the biggest with an, I'm going to randomly throw them in, guys. Don't know what because I know I'm not doing particularly well on time. Poor Alex isn't going to do brilliantly here, I don't think. Could be better. Okay, but still. You see here, this is where he has the option to try again. Let's do another one so we can see a bit of the aquifers. Okay, it's a similar activity in actual fact. So choose the correct answer for your questions. Which is the longest river of the Mediterranean watershed? I'm gonna say it's the Ebro. Where's the source of Rio Ebro? I'm gonna say it's Cantabria. Which of these rivers is a tributary of the Ebro? I'm gonna say Júcar. Some of you may be laughing at me at the moment. Random, random, and random. Check my answers. No idea how I managed to get 3 of those. Right. There we are. Simple as that. So he's gone through, he's done some exercises, and now I'm going to log back out again. And like this, I go to exit. Yeah. My tracked records. First ESO geography and history here. We should have Alex Gomez if I'm right in the place. And now, as if by magic, we see that miraculously, Alex Gomez has got 50% here. We can see his attempts. We can say could be better. But let's be honest, could be a lot better. Send that to him. We can see how he did, and that's how it works. So I think. Oh, I see the thing here. Okay, so that's it for the different sections. So I'm going to go over here now and see if there's any more questions. Any questions from you guys? Let me just close something. So I've got. Can you show me how to make a mind map again? Absolutely. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat here now, so that we can. And then we've got a few minutes to go over them. Okay, so mind maps. So I'm going to go into my my books. I'm going to go back into geography and history. I'm going to go into the learning kit, mind maps, and we're going to carry on with, I'm going to go for a different one. So weather and climate. So what you see here, we've got the Earth's climates. So you can, it's best to zoom in. Like I was using 2 finger zoom in, zoom out, and it works better with the button on the ByME platform. So you can zoom in, zoom out, and this is one that's already been made for us. But if we want to make one ourselves, we click on create. We're going to say group 1, weather and climate. I will say weather. Very important for children to learn the difference between weather and climate. Okay, so let's go over it again. I'm going to do it a little bit back to front this time. So over on the left, we've got our zoom in, zoom out, change background color. Then we have reset, which will delete everything. We click here to save. That will bring us back. Now, if we want to edit it, which may be the case, you'll see that now we've created it in this section. We've got 3 dots. Oh dear. No, you just click on it. Sorry. Do that. You don't click on the 3 dots in this case. To start your mind map, you double click anywhere in this canvas. Once you've double clicked, then we have one of our sections. So this time, so double clicking will make multiple ones. I don't want that one. I'm going to click on text, weather and climate. I can change the size of things. I can also change the size of our box. If you like, just as we're doing it, I'm going to do it a little bit better this time. I'm actually going to go into Google Images, and I'm going to get an image called weather, and I'm going to show you the whole thing here. So we're going to download that. That looks like some good weather. I'm going to save that image on my computer, my downloads folder. Then I'm going to put it in here. So I go to image. This is the one I just downloaded. Open. In this case, I made it bigger than the box that was available. So that could be our middle box. We can also change the color. We'll change the color of the outline. Okay, I'm going to leave that one black. Now, let's say we're going to say we have 2 main points. We're going to have weather and we're going to have climate. So we're going to drag. I'm going to put weather on the left. So we're going to click on this dot. I'm going to click, drag it down and release where we want to have our new box. Remember to click on the text button here, and then I'm going to write weather. Over here, I'm going to do the same. Click, drag, release, click on text, climate. And from weather, I'm going to put some key points. This is short term. Over here, this is long term. So maybe we could say short term. Short term weather would be something such as, I'm sorry, when it gets too big or whatever, then you can click on like that and you can drag around. You can also click on the boxes to move them. So short term, so we could say here that this is snow. Snow is an example of weather, or we could say, oops, excuse me, I wanted to do this. I could say rain is an example of weather. Okay, so then we can give these different colors to make it clear exactly how this, however you want to organize it, basically. What else was there to mention here? Really, nothing, I don't think. So I would save it at this point. I would go back to weather and climate, and then I would share it with first ESO, geography and history. That's Alex Gomez's group. I share it with them. And now they have access to it as well. Okay, any further questions? I can't see any on here.
I think that's all the questions. So thank you very much for your questions. From ByME, we would like to thank you all for coming and participating in today's webinar. Don't forget to join us on our next sessions, which you can find on our website, www.bilingualbyme.com. Before we sign off, many thanks to Joseph for his practical and very useful training. So thank you, Joseph. Have a nice evening and see you soon.
Take care, everyone. Bye.